So basically, that's the run of the show, and we want to make sure that you get enough time after those rotations at the 3 different stations to get your hands on the products as well. So we have plenty of time for that before the show gets kicked off. So without further ado, let me introduce you to our brand new CEO of Hilti North America, Martina McIsaac. She is the former GM of our Hilti Canada operations. So Martina, take it away.
Well, good morning. Thank you for being with us. I know your time is precious. There's a lot of competing demands on your time in these days, and we do appreciate you taking the time to be with us this morning. So as Alicia said, I am new to this role as the CEO of North America, started on January 1st. And prior to that, I've been with Hilti for 6 years. I started in a strategic management role and then moved to Toronto, ran our Central Canada business and then the entire Canadian business. So, but new to the industry. So this is all fascinating and fun and new for me, and I'm excited to be here and be a part of it. People usually ask me 2 questions. They say, so how do you feel as a female running a tool company? And the first thing I say is, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, it's a privilege to represent the 3,700 team members in Hilti North America. It's a fantastic company to work for. And second of all, I say I don't run a tool company. You know, Hilti, if you think about it, is really so much more than a tool company. I say that I run the best innovation company in the construction industry that focuses on end-to-end workflow productivity for our contractors. And if you think about what Hilti does, I mean, we start way back at design. We help contractors optimize and engineers optimize design. That leads to better materials planning. Then we have job site management solutions that help manage that inventory. We do on-site testing and training to keep workers safe. Then we manage tool fleets in a completely different way. We allow customers to flex up and down in their tool fleets to match their workflows. We have asset management that helps them manage repair, maintenance, rental schedules that helps reduce theft. Then at the end of the project, we also provide all documentation services for inspection, and we manage end of life of our tools and safe recycling of what our customers use. And of course, through that whole process, our customers get to benefit from the best tools and fasteners and fire stopping industry. So it's a fascinating business for us here at Hilti, and we're very proud to be able to show you part of that today. Now, obviously, what you'll see are the tools, which is the easiest piece for us to demonstrate here on site. But I want everyone to understand how much thought goes into the development of these tools in collaboration with our customers. It's all part of an application flow that we have, together with them, collaborated on to make them as productive as possible. So, second question that I get is, how do I see the industry? So people have said, hey, you're taking over at a time and we're not sure where the construction industry is going. All I can tell you is we had a fantastic 2019. We outperformed the market on every metric that we measure. And this close collaboration that we have with our customers, really embedded in their workflow, tells us that there's a lot of work ahead in 2020 as well. Books are full. In fact, some of our customers are having to delay work because they can't get enough people to work with them. So we expect 2020 to be strong, and as a result, we are continuing to invest in the innovation you'll see today. We've added team members in the field. We've expanded our Dallas headquarters. We're expanding our testing and development center. So we expect the future to be bright. So,
good morning. My name is David Walker. I'm the business unit manager for Hilti North America. I oversee, and with a team, I manage all of the corded and cordless power tools that you see here today, as well as all of the inserts on the example back here on the wall. I've had the pleasure to speak with many of you for at least 5 years here at the show, also in Dallas and Tulsa at different events. So good to see some of you back again. I want to start off by talking about January. January was a big month for us. We launched more than 10 new tools, in addition to as many as 10 or 12 new insert and accessory lines, as you see behind you on the insert wall. We're here to talk about cordless drills today. We're here to talk about tools. But before I dive into the features and benefits of some of our new cordless drills, I want to take a minute to talk about what really makes Hilti different. For example, as you heard Martina say, it's our people. Our people are in the field with red shirts and red coats, as I have on here today, and they're interacting directly with contractors on their job sites and in their offices on a daily basis. This is how Hilti works. In the US and Canada, we have more than 1,500 of these people directly visiting their customers on a daily basis. And what that allows us to do is really get to know our customers' applications. For example, if a concrete customer is performing formwork, they're cutting lumber, they're needing to make holes in that lumber, they're needing to attach the lumber together, they're needing to clean up the forms after they pull the lumber off, so on and so forth. But with the direct interaction we're able to have with our customers, we get to know their pain points. We get to know what what's unproductive for those contractors. With that, we're able to provide a solution that is a combination of, sure, tools, the great tools that Hilti's known for. Absolutely, that's part of the equation. Also, though, the services, which I'll discuss in a little more depth here in a second, as well as the proper inserts, the bits or the blades that make that whole system the most productive. We also are able to bring to the contractor the most productive and the safest way to work. So we'll talk a little bit more about how we make our tools safer for the tradesmen here in a second. But all of that comes together because of that direct interaction on the job site, working with the tradesman, working with the contractor either on the job site or the office on a daily basis. Okay, so I said I would speak a little bit about safety, and I'd like to start to do that now. For years, Hilti has been known as an innovator in our largest tools, our combi hammers, which are on display behind you, our large breaker tools, which are out front. For years, we've added features like active torque control, also known as ATC. We've added features like AVR, active vibration reduction. We have found, and through these direct relationships we have with the tradesmen and the contractors on their job sites, we found that when we can make tradesmen safer and more comfortable throughout the day, that they're more productive for that contractor. One of the examples I'm going to show you now that we have taken directly from some of our larger tools, our large combi hammers, is a feature, as I mentioned, called ATC, or active torque control. And what that does is I'm going to simulate running a high torque drill here. This is the new SF6H A22. It's one of the new products that I'm here to talk to you about today. But I'm going to first start by demonstrating that safety feature of ATC. In our largest combi hammers that run a 1 inch or 1.5 inch diameter bit in concrete, we all know that sometimes they can bind up on rebar. And the result of that, if you don't have a feature like ATC, is that the tool can spin somewhat out of control, potentially leading to a wrist injury. So for years, we've had this ATC feature in our largest combi hammers. We're now taking features like that and putting them into even smaller tools. As the cordless tools become more powerful and higher torque, we have found that these type of features are a benefit to the tradesman, even in the smaller cordless tools. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration here with the new SF6H A22 with ATC. I'm going to pull the trigger and then simulate a quick, sudden, unexpected movement. So you notice I'm still holding the trigger, but the tool has completely shut off. So it's not a clutch, the motor has completely disengaged and stopped. If I release and start my work again, of course it starts. But if I had that sudden, unexpected stoppage, rather than the tool spinning out of control, it stops the tool. So this is one of the technologies that we've taken from our larger tools. Continue with the theme, since we do have 3 new 12-volt drills over here on my right. I remember a couple of you asking me this summer when you were in Irving, Texas at our event. You came up to me and you said, "Wow, Hilti, if you add brushless motors to your 12-volt drill line, you've really got something." Well, guess what? We've taken the brushless motor and we've added it to our 12-volt drill line. Okay, 3 new drills, all with brushless motors, all using the technology from our largest tools, incorporating it into even our smallest 12-volt drills. Continuing this theme of using the latest technology in the industry and the best technology in the industry to make contractors the most productive possible, to get the most work out of a battery, to get the most efficient motor, to get the fastest drilling speed. We are doing this even in the smallest drills, the 12-volt line. What we have done is we have put the lasted technology cells, battery cells, lithium-ion battery cells, into our 4.0 12-volt battery. These are 21700 cells, which Hilti's the first to have those available in a 12-volt battery. Of course, this technology is in the Hilti 22-volt 4.0 and 8.0 batteries, but we've taken that same technology and put it into the smallest tools, the 12-volt drills. This gives the result, our tradesmen tell us that they can get 50% more runtime out of this 12-volt 4.0 battery than they were getting out of the smaller 2.6 battery that had the other technology cells. So a great improvement in runtime, also just more productive, faster drilling with the combination of the brushless motor and the battery. So now I've got the tools right here in front of me. I'll start to talk a little bit more about the features and benefits of the new tools. We've touched on ATC, we've touched on brushless motor, we've touched on the battery technology. Just a couple of more points here. The dual LED lights. I talked to one or two of you as you came through the booth yesterday, and a few of you have already used these tools, and you told me that the dual LED lights on the tool really help a tradesman when they're working in dimly lit situations or dark conditions. Same dual LED lights are on the 12-volt drills. Same benefit to the customer. And then lastly, I'm going to talk a little bit about ergonomics. At the start of my presentation, I mentioned that we have found when we can make a tradesman more comfortable throughout the day, they get more work done, they're more productive. We do this with features like active vibration reduction, which Andrew outside is going to talk to you about in the breaker. Less vibration, the tradesman feels better and works harder and longer throughout the day. But the same principle applies to small tools. This is a tool that weighs about 1.5 pounds, less than 2 pounds. So it's not necessarily a heavy tool, but we found with the grip and holding a tool like this all day, if you're comfortable, you're going to work, you're going to be more productive, you're going to work longer, you're going to work harder. And we are able to do that with our battery. The way our battery connects at the base of the tool allows us to have a very slim handle design. And some of you came through yesterday and used the tools and mentioned to me that, wow, this handle feels great. This is a big improvement over some of the smaller tools that are out there in the market. So those are all available for us to use out here in the different demo stations. I want to now talk a little bit about, we've touched on the people that make Hilti what we are. We've touched a little bit on some of the new products, the new drills here. I want to talk now a little bit about how do we make it easy for a contractor to acquire the different combinations of cordless tools that they need to complete their application sets. And what I mean by that is, for a long time in our industry, we have had cordless kits, right? We all know the cordless kit. And the cordless kit would be a pre-configured combination of a tool and some batteries, and a charger, and maybe a carrying case or bag or something like that. And of course, Hilti offers those and always will. But what we found was that we found a way to offer the contractors that work with our tools the ability to combine exactly the tools that they need and make their own custom combo, make their own custom kit. For example, if they needed a grinder and a drill and a recip saw, they can put those together through a component fashion, meaning we have priced all of our components, our tools, our batteries, and our chargers, even our bags and our cases. We've priced them fairly so that if a if a contractor builds this custom kit, they're not penalized. They don't pay more by creating their own custom combo. And this has been well received over the past year. Seeing more than half of our cordless sales now going through that component fashion, where the contractor literally picks and chooses the tools that make the right combo for his tradesman, maybe for a truck, maybe for a crew, maybe for a job site. So that is also found in the flyer that was in your press kit. We call that our set selector, right? So you are able to build your own set in a custom fashion. Then it would be amiss if I didn't also speak about some of our services. So when a contractor acquires a tool from Hilti, let's say this cordless drill, many contractors acquire those drills or acquire hundreds of Hilti tools or thousands of Hilti tools through a service that we offer called fleet management. And fleet management is just that. It's a way for a contractor to more efficiently manage their fleet of tools. We know through the direct relationships that we have with the contractors that use our tools, we know that there are some unproductive things around having hundreds or thousands of tools. For example, repairs, theft, warranties, and fleet management eliminates a lot of the non-productive points around having large fleets of tools, which contractors do, hundreds of thousands, hundreds or even thousands of tools. So that has been very well received, and that's called fleet management. Next, other contractors use our tools on a daily basis and purchase them from Hilti, and they appreciate our warranty. Our warranty is 22-in-1, and briefly to describe that, 20 is 20-year manufacturer's warranty, but the 2 is important. I want to spend a minute on 2 because 2 really separates us from others in the market. The 2 means that for 24 months on this cordless drill or this battery or the charger that goes with it or this drill, for 24 months, a contractor could use the tool day and night for 24 months. We track the serial number. They don't have to keep the receipt. We track the serial number with their account. And we know that they have that tool for 24 months and it's covered. If anything happens to the tool, we fix or replace for free with that 24-month period. The 1, so 22-in-1, the 1 relates to our 1-day repair promise. So let's just say it's under this warranty and you're in Wisconsin and you need to get that tool repaired. So we have a 1-day repair promise, which means we will pay the shipping when it's under this 24-month warranty. We'll pay the shipping to our nearest repair facility, and then we have a 1-day repair promise that it will not be in our repair facility for more than 1 day, and then we ship back to you at our expense while it's under that warranty. The fleet management service that I offered extends that warranty to 3 or even 4 years in some cases on tools like this. So we are going to run out of our 15 minutes here in a second. I want to offer to you though, at the end of the formal event and for the rest of the show, I'll be in this area, my product managers will be in this area. We have demos set up for you to use all of the new cordless drills. So the 12-volt lineup, which is the SF2H, that's the hammer drill, the SID 2A12, that's the impact, and the SFD, that's the drill driver. These are all set up for you to use in the different red cabinets behind us. The SF6H is also set up here, both for drilling into masonry, which is a common application for our masonry customers for setting brick ties. The SF6H is also set up with a spade bit, which is a common application for concrete contractors for making holes in lumber, plywood, different wood materials. I have the impact drivers set up for you to drive screws or bolts, and I have the SFD set up for you to drive screws. So have a nice demo set up for you at the conclusion of the event or throughout the rest of the week. Please come and put your hands on the tools, take pictures, take videos, anything you would like.
demo. My name's Andrew Beard. I'm the product manager for Hilti's heavy tool segment, and I have the absolute honor to introduce today the world's first cordless breaker. Our TE500A36 tool gives our customers and contractors the power and performance they've become to rely on and expect from Hilti's corded platform in a cordless battery solution. This tool boasts an industry-leading brushless motor powered by a very high-efficiency gearing and ram mechanism, giving it a perfect combination tool to allow it to actually be more powerful than our corded and produce less vibration, actually half the vibration of our corded tools, which is phenomenal in a battery-operated platform. However, that's just the tool. The tool is kind of almost half the platform. The big heart of it is going to be our battery. This just isn't any battery. This is a Hilti 36 volt 9 amp hour battery, which is an industry leading battery. It's powered by the best lithium ion cell technology and construction in the industry, and gives a synergy of a system that allows our contractors to have unparalleled reach, which is why this is able to be the world's first cordless breaker. Going over some of the features and benefits of this tool. One application is wide flat chiseling. Our tool, starting from the front and back, features a 360 rotatable chisel head. I can switch this to this gear right here and rotate this chisel 360 degrees, allowing me to make sure that my chiseling is done at the most ergonomic positioning. Secondly is this D handle. Once I lock it in and I actually start using the tool, the D handle allows me for better grip and hold of the breaker while in use. This D handle is also the same exact D handle and same size chuck head as our corded models. That allows it to share the same dustless shrouds and components of our corded tools. For our contractors that are already heavily invested in our corded wall breakers, they don't have to change or have any different components. This is an SDS Max, what we call TEY connection end. Again, giving it that hammering force that it is able to require to do the work that you see behind me. Another added feature that we have here that's unique to Hilti is going to be this button system here. Some contractors, when we first launched this tool, go, what the heck is that? What we told them is, how many times do you get a tool in your box and that trigger accidentally pulls, you get to the site, your bag's messed up, your battery's dead. This has been on the whole time driving to your job site. They go, oh yeah, all the dang time. So this is the power button that then allows you to engage it on a secondary system. So you have to push the switch, then pull the trigger, and then this tool stays on for about 2 minutes, allowing their time to be able to do some work, set the tool down, pick it back up, use it again without having to fool with the power button. Secondly is this little wrench. Hilti is known for having the longest lasting tools, so they say, what the heck do I need my service light indicator for? Well, we don't make tools that last millennia, we make tools that last a good lifetime. Unfortunately, sometimes things break. When the tool has an issue, that light will come on. That light doesn't mean the tool doesn't work anymore. That light means is that you have a full day's worth of work you can do on it and then send me in to repair. A lot of contractors and tradesmen hate when they bring a cordless tool out to the field and it's dead, it's not working. The battery was fine, they checked that, but there was something wrong with the tool. Our tool allows them to say, hey, you know what, it's morning time, I'm gonna have an issue at the end of the day next day, but I'll still give you a full day's work. Last but not least is the little hammering mechanism we see here. That's full power. When you push this, that's reduced power. Well, why would I want reduced power? Tradesmen know when you're using heavy duty applications that you see behind me, you need the full power. However, bricklayers and tile folks know you need actually reduced power because you don't want to mess up the material behind you, or you're trying to salvage some bricks if you're doing a restoration project. So that little hammering mechanism there allows you to be able to choose between the different applications. Finally, and my favorite actually is the simplest one, the lock-on switch. The lock-on switch allows contractors to put the tool on, maneuver it around, use different positions while braking without having to hold on to that trigger. Turns off obviously when you reduce the lock-on and you're allowed to go. Now, big not issue, but a big safety innovation and step up that the industry has introduced has been silica dust. I mentioned earlier the silica dust DRS shrouds share the same as our corded models. This is one already set up with that system. However, most silica dust shrouds are connected to what? A vacuum, right? What's the vacuum? Corded or cordless? It's usually corded. What happens when you plug in a cordless tool to a corded vacuum? It's now semi-cordless. That's like not even a thing. So what we said is let's take it up to the next level and offer our customers a cordless backpack that works for a cordless tool. Now you're fully mobile, you're fully cordless. You can go anywhere on the job site, not have to do the extension cords, not have to have the generators. Now this system is not only a world's first breaker, cordless, but it's also a world's first fully Table 1 OSHA compliant breaker system. The contractor can quickly and easily don the backpack. Once they've done that, they can take their hose, connect it to their tool, and do their braking applications. This is very simple and easy to use. They can also have a system like you see here with our Ready Pack trolley, where they just leave the vacuum on the trolley and they just roll it up to the site and brake. That's very helpful for guys that have to do many little projects of braking that are throughout this entire project. So, last before I let you go and actually do the demo, is going to be the applications themselves. Many times you'll see a demonstration or the tools with just a simple bolt point. Bolt point is great for braking and chipping. However, that's not the total solution that the TE500-836 can provide. We have bolt points and chisels, but we also have bushings, clay spades, mortars, and ground rod drivers. The TE500-836, with it being a dedicated breaker, allows you to drive ground rods, dig for trenches, dig openings for pipes, do many applications like bushing that you could not get out of a cordless combi hammer because of the extra performance and the longer reach of the battery. So, any questions before we do some hands-on? None? That was it? I nailed it?
Actually, what is the acceptance level that you've seen so far with the cordless? Because I think in the past there's been concerns about battery life.
Great question. So for folks who maybe didn't hear, what is the acceptance of the cordless platform? What was the acceptance of the cordless impacts back in the day? A little low. Then they started what? Using it. And they realized, oh my God, these cordless impacts are phenomenal. It's the same thing with this tool. The idea is to have a battery that'll last you either through a day's application or at minimum to your next break. The initial acceptance is like any tool. It's a little sketch. But as soon as the contractors and yourselves use the tool, especially for a full day, they realize, wow, for many of my applications, I can actually get the reach on a cordless platform because of Hilti's synergy with the battery, motor, and hammering mechanism. That help? Perfect. Any other questions? All right, let's do a hands-on. Volunteer or voluntold? You laughed, so now you're voluntold. So come on up, come on up. Do you want to do a backpack system or do you want to do vacuum on the ground system? Vacuum on the ground. All right. So he would come up to his project. He'd have a vacuum on the ground ready to go because I'm the safety supervisor. I'm going to make sure he's keeping safe. He's putting his ears in and his eyes on. Now, do you want to do some bushing or do you want to do some chipping? Okay, I'll let you go. So, I'm going to set him up for chipping and I'm going to handle the tool. But he's got to turn it on, right? How's he do that? Man, he's got it. Push the button. The vacuum system works best on max with the VC75 and the tool. He's going to don it in. And then now when you break, you can either break the brick however you like. The concrete, however, you want to work from the edge in. So I'll let you do your thing. vibration feel. Okay. Now what about the braking performance? Would that be what you would expect? Okay.
What do you think, John?
What was that?
Pretty sweet.
So 4,000 PSI reinforced concrete. This isn't light CMU block that we were doing. Even if you wanted to hit the CMU block, it's still grout filled. So the tool is designed for the performance. Can I get one more volunteer to do a bushing application, since that's going to be second or third best application for the tool? Toolbox, all right. So you trade his system up. As you notice again, same DRS system, just a different head, and then obviously his bushing bit. Now what he's probably going to do, he's going to show you where they want to do some roughening here, whether they're either going to extend the concrete or do something else, but you can either do this small section toolbox, or you can either do this large section over here, however you want to do it. Do you want backpack or on the floor?
What's that?
You want the backpack or on the floor? On the floor. All right. So again, turning it to max, setting it to the side, giving him the tool. Right? So bushing application is the hardest to do on both the tool and the user. You are holding it in the down chipping position constantly, moving it over a surface almost like a grinder while the tool is just going. So I'm glad to hear that he feels it's a little light, I should say, as well as not as vibrating.
America, and again, welcome to our press conference. You know, we live in a fantastic world, right? Do you agree with me? There's a lot of things happening, technology left and right, things changing, adapting to our industry and so on and so forth. So I want to talk to you about some of that today, and how do we believe Hilti is responding to driving that to help our customers be more productive on their job sites. It is a little bit lagging behind in this whole revolution. That's our industry, the construction industry. And if you look at what's happening in this space, there's this productivity gain over time that other industries like automotive have drastically changed over the last 3 decades. And in construction, it's a fairly flat development curve. That has created a lot of activity, a lot of startups, a lot of new businesses that are trying to solve these problems for our construction industry, and with that, offer solutions for our customers. We at Hilti, we believe that yes, it is about creating the right products. It is about bringing innovation, using that technology to make our products better. But it's not only about the products. It's also, ultimately, it is about what our customers do with it. If our customers don't change their behavior, if they don't use the technology to change their behavior, not much will change. The productivity increase will not be there. We believe that we're in a perfect position to connect the dots between our hardware, our software, and our service solutions to make that happen. You know, when our customers out there are trying to figure out how to use data and ultimately translate it into something that's meaningful for them, because of our business model, because of how we are positioned, because we're shoulder to shoulder with those contractors on those job sites, we believe that we're in a unique position to help them. And the position that we're in to help them is really to connect the dots between digital and physical. Ultimately, that has to translate. You can have great data. If you don't use it, then ultimately you don't get the benefits from it. We've been investing heavily, not only in North America, but also globally, on solutions that combine those things, that are workflow solutions, not individual product solutions. You know, we make the best products, right? I believe we make the best tools, the best breakers, the best drills, the best gas saws. I know you will write about that and will confirm that. But it's not only about the best tools. If you have the best tools and then are able to connect that individual productivity capabilities and expand it into a whole tool part, and then ultimately to also have sustainability factors with it, then we're changing the industry. So that investment that has been going on, I want to showcase 3 things today on how that actually becomes tangible. And the first two are things that we've been continuously investing that we already have in the marketplace. And the third one is a first. So I'm announcing a news information today in this press conference for the first time. So bear with me on the last step there. So let's talk about smart tools. Right? Smart tools are fantastic. Right? We capture data, we make them smarter, they're able to see and ultimately have more information about their environment. All that gets captured, somewhere goes into a cloud-based solution or an ecosystem, and then what? We can use that data to translate that into potential workflow optimizations, into information for our customers on how to behave. But ultimately, if there is no interface, that data is only partially usable. So what we're working on is both on investing into our smartness of our tools and bringing more intelligence into them, but then also working on the interface. We call this Hilti Connect. Hilti Connect is not just an app. Hilti Connect is a window into our hardware, into the data that gets generated and captured by our tools, and with that allows two things. One, immediate interaction. Right? You have Hilti Connect that gives you information about the tool that you can take action in the moment. I change my behavior, I drill faster, I slow down on my core rig to bring the efficiency on that in the moment for the user. It also allows for better planning. You know, if I have the information about my tools, I can actually schedule preventive maintenance. With that, I overall reduce my effort and potentially downtime that I have to organize downstream with my tools. I know that in advance. Hilti Connect allows me to interact with my tools on the job site. You know, our customers tell us one big issue that we have is our asset management. We don't know exactly where our stuff is, and this is not because they're unorganized. The construction industry is a very vibrant, very dynamic industry. We have job sites all over the place, they have warehouses, and they need to manage that. Our contractors tell us that, you know, our research tells us that about 90 hours a month are just spent on finding where my stuff is. Where is the tools? How do I combine tools and crews in the right place at the right moment? 65% of our contractors tell us that they struggle and they actually are not very confident that they have a good system to trace their certifications and potentially even inspection schedules. And we know that in average, about $200,000 are wasted in managing your assets or finding where the stuff is. 4 years ago, we introduced Hilti OnTrack. And since then, we've been implementing this solution on contractors across all trades and in all sizes. And with those contractors, what they've told us is their ability to now have transparency on where the assets are, and then ultimately take action on that. They have been able to drive their efficiency of their crews, where they are, and so on, and overall take more out of less assets than they were ever before. OnTrack is a cloud-based IoT solution from Hilti. It's a software solution and a service combined into what improves the workflow of managing tools for our customers. If you combine that with our service that we've had for decades now called fleet management, now you're translating what used to be a great benefit on a smart tool with an interface for an individual tool, and then combine it into a total solution on a tool part. If you think about the opportunities that you have as a contractor on driving your efficiency by making that leap jump, it's a fantastic use case on how we're connecting the dots and really affecting the workflow of our customers. The second story that I want to tell you is about BIM. Right? Building information modeling is pretty much status quo, or one of the elements of our design phase on construction that is very well established in the marketplace. And I would venture that in the future, it will become just the standard of how we do construction. And you can tell, and you know, that there's great benefits to that, right? Obviously, the high adoption comes because we are dramatically changing what used to be a lot of wasted time, effort, and money on change orders and adjustments when we're building the building. So now with BIM solutions and the BIM model, you have a complete design of the building before you have ever moved any dirt. that helps with coordination and helps identify errors early, coordinate trades, and so on and so forth. So great productivity plays. Now the next challenge is, how do you translate that digital model to the actual physical world? You eventually have to do that. Once you finally designed, you want to build it. How do you do that? Our digital design or digital layout solutions from Hilti help build that bridge. You know, in layout, if you think about what is layout and what does it take, in a construction application, it's about 30% of the time that you're investing into that layout of tools. The layout of your fasteners, of anything that you need to do on the job site. We believe that with our solutions, you can accelerate or you can bring efficiencies in a factor of 5 to our contractors. And we do that by focusing on 3 things when it comes to our layout solutions: ease of use, worker efficiency, and accuracy. Ease of use translates into, I'm capable of using this tool. I don't have to be an educated and trained surveyor in order to adapt what the digital design tells me and where those points go for fasteners and sleeves and other solutions. I drive accuracy with that. So on one side, I told you 5 times faster in that process. That 5 times faster translates into a massive increase of days, potentially even weeks, of ahead schedule. So affecting the schedule of our customer just through the layout process. And then the other side benefit that you get from it, if you're more accurate, because we just eliminated multiple steps that are potential risks for errors, we're getting to a point where that accuracy can be translated into completely other use cases of productivity. Prefabrication, pre-installation, and so forth. If I have an accurate position of an anchor and then ultimately bring in a hanging rack that automatically gets put in and I don't have to do any rework, that's efficiency. So what you see in the picture there is an anchor, and the head of that anchor, there is a data matrix code that will allow me to, through my screen, if I scan this thing, automatically identify this anchor uniquely. Now this gives us a lot of use cases. This is the first step of taking smart or IoT solutions to our fasteners. With that, you can imagine all the things that we can do. I now identify this fastener. So this gives our contractors the ability to uniquely use this automatic identification in their workflow. The second thing that it does is I have to install this anchor. So now I know exactly what I'm installing. On my screen, I have all the related information that I need as an installer to do this properly. You know, certifications, user manuals, and so on and so forth. I can now connect the dots between this and my tool, because if this is uniquely identified, I know what type of anchor it is, that can speak to my tool that is a smart tool that automatically adjusts the torque, and with that properly install this anchor without any additional need of trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. Once installed the anchor correctly, I can give my user the signal that you did your job right. And once I have the right information, I just informed and I record that, that allows me or the contractor or an inspection community to ultimately understand and know which anchor has been installed where, to what point, and with the right torque. So the whole workflow of us identifying the right products and with that ultimately driving that workflow efficiency for our customers. Now, you know, this is a great technology, and ultimately I'm sure somebody else can come up with a different way of identifying a unique anchor and finding a way of getting that information to the customers. The reason why we can do this effectively is because we're the only company that actually knows who we sold this anchor to and in which job site it's going to be installed. So we combine the information of the identification with the use case for our end customers, because we know who is the owner of this anchor, ultimately is the building, but also who has installed it. Very good. So I hope that throughout these 3 use cases and the video that I showed you before is that Hilti is perfectly equipped to be part of this revolution and drive productivity in the industry.